Hello there, people of YouTube. How you doing? My name is Adam. Today I'm going to be adding my little drop into the ocean of Joker reviews that are out there with my Joker review. Joker was released on October the 4th, 2019 and stars Joaquin Phoenix and was directed by Todd Phillips, who had previously directed the Hangover trilogy. The story is set in the early 80s and follows a man named Arthur Fleck, a man in his 40s who lives with his mother in a rundown city of Gotham. Arthur suffers from mental health issues and sees a psychiatrist on the regular until his sessions are cut, leaving him to spiral out of control. He works as a sign-twirling clown, and as depicted in the trailer, he doesn't have a fun time doing it. He gets mugged, talked down to, and generally abused through life. And to top it off, he has an uncontrollable laugh that occurs when he's nervous or uncomfortable. His laughter is a painful, shrill sound that does not come from a place of joy. His mental health also leaves him with delusions. He imagines a relationship with his female neighbour, played by Zazie Beetz. This is played out in the movie until you realise as the audience that he has in fact been talking to himself, and the scene where he is in his neighbour's house, she is clearly frightened and barely knows Arthur. Arthur also has aspirations to be a stand-up comedian, inspired by television host Murray Franklin, played by Robert De Niro, and has delusions on appearing on his talk show. Reality, on the other hand, is not so kind. Arthur's try as a stand-up comedian at the local comedy club doesn't go too well, and he has another bout of uncontrollable laughter on stage, making for an uncomfortable audience. His jokes don't fare too well either. So at this point in the movie, it's established that Arthur is not having a good run of things. Life is really kicking him in the arse. So on a subway journey home one evening, when three yuppie guys are accosting a young lady across from them. They're throwing chips at her and generally just being dicks. This causes Arthur to have his uncontrollable laugh outburst. They turn around and say, "Hey, what are you laughing at, buddy? What's so funny?" And then their attention is drawn to him. The girl makes a leg for it. They basically just beat the shit out of him. So he's laying on the floor on the ground, and he's previously got a gun from one of his colleagues at work. They've given him a gun to protect himself from the previous mugging. So he takes out that gun, shoots all three of them. One of them takes a run for it, but he chases him down, shoots him in the back, and makes a run for it himself. In a downtrodden, disillusioned city, the media pick up on the story of the death of the three subway guys, and the city's people champion their deaths as a rich versus poor, 1% versus the rest situation, and puts the mysterious clown-faced killer up on a pedestal, even taking to wearing clown masks in his honour. Arthur's mental health is deteriorating fast. He receives a phone call from the TV talk show. They want him to appear on the show after footage of his failed stand-up has surfaced, basically so they can just take the piss out of him. The big scene where Arthur makes his entrance on the TV talk show, meeting Murray Franklin, we meet a new Arthur Fleck. In fact, it's no longer Arthur Fleck at all. It's the Joker who walks out on stage, full of swagger and confidence. He addresses the audience and tells his bad jokes, and shockingly admits on national TV that it was he who was the one who shot the three yuppie guys, before pulling out a gun and shooting Murray Franklin dead, with a second shot just to make sure. Arthur's led out of the studio in handcuffs. He's led into the police car and they're driving through the city. The city is in flames. There's upturned cars, fire everywhere, anarchy in the streets, people with clown masks running all over the place. And then all of a sudden, an ambulance comes careering into the back of the police car, knocking out the two front drivers and Arthur as well. Arthur's dragged through the window and placed on the front of the police car. When he comes to a round of applause and people everywhere cheering him. Yeah, he's like the fucking the Don. He's the man. He's the prince of this town. He stands up on top of the front of the car and just sort of theatrically starts waving his arms around. Yes, he is the best. This is his moment, and the city is responding to what they believe is poor versus rich, downtrodden versus the elite, man versus the system. When really this is just about one man, one narcissistical man. Narcissistical, is that a word? One narcissistic man and his mental illness, basically, and that has sent him over the edge. We cut away to another scene, and one of the rioters in a clown mask confronts Thomas Wayne and his wife and young son. And in the famous Batman scene, basically shoots both the parents, leaving the young boy alive to watch and witness what happened, creating Batman. Nice little Easter egg they put in there. We cut away and find Arthur in an asylum. He's being treated by a psychologist, and the psychologist asks him, "What's so funny?" after he has another one of his manic laughing fits, and he just simply says, "You wouldn't get it." I think implying about the whole creation of Batman and everything. I'm 100% sure on that one. But yeah, it's a great scene. And then we cut away again, and he's walking down the corridor with blood footprints, which sort of implies that he killed the psychiatrist. Then guards start chasing him back and forth across the corridor, and he's just sort of he's loving it. He's just really enjoying it because it's very Joker-like. It's very clown-like, you know. And I can't go without mentioning the Joker's music. The music to this film is fantastic. The name I can't pronounce. It's one crazy name, so I'll have to put that up on the screen. But the music is very emotional, very raw, very sad. Lots of cellos, lots of string instruments. And it's really sort of evocative of the Joker's feeling and mood in the film. So overall, this was a fantastic film. It's a definite must-watch if you haven't already seen it. If you have seen it, go out and watch it again because you know you want to. Joaquin Phoenix is a fantastic actor in very subtle ways, in very in-your-face ways. He's all the way through the movie. He's doing these weird little flourishes of dance moves to show how theatrical he is and how not really with it he is, and little looks in his eyes, just the pain he's in when he laughs is really apparent, you know, because it's just something that is painful to him. It's just something that is really like, he just wants to be normal, he wants to fit in, but he just doesn't feel like he does, and he's so let down by society, he's so let down by his people around him that he's just built up these frustrations are built up, and you see all this built across Joaquin's face, and there's flourishes of Marcel Marceau, which I'd never heard. This is a French mime artist that I've never really heard of until I'd seen this film. I'd heard the name, but I'd never really researched it. But after I came home from the film, I watched clips of Marcel Marceau, and it really does sort of shine that this was a bit of an influence for Joaquin's performance. But yeah, overall, fantastic performance. It was really brilliant. I loved it. Highly recommend you watch it. I'm definitely going to watch it again. I didn't necessarily enjoy watching it in a cinema environment. I'd rather have watched it at home, to be fair, so I could just take it all in. But I can't wait to get it on DVD. Yeah, so it's fantastic. And before I go, there's also, I've got to give a shout out to Stevie J Reviews. He also did a fantastic review on the Joker, so definitely check that out. I'll leave a link in my description. And yeah, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Mwah. Goodbye.